As you can tell from the title, today we're taking a look at the Every Little Thing You Do is Magic Tarot. Now, if you know me, you know I'm a trinket-loving, crow-brained woman, so when I saw there was a strange card at the top of the deck, I had to take a closer look at it, and I was really excited to see that it's actually a tarot card stand. Such a cute and innovative thing to include in a tarot deck. I just thought that was so precious, and I really love that attention to detail, and it was something that I had never seen, so I was very happy to see it. The guidebook is very modern. It has upright and reversals, and a super cool thing about the guidebook is it includes a crystal, a song, and a scent to go with each card. They also launched an interactive guide to tarot, ritual, and personal growth full-size book with this deck as well. I believe they are sold separately, but this journal is also very, very cool. If you're looking for something to journal and be inspired with a tarot deck, this is really fun. I love to journal, but I love to journal on my own accord, so I'm not usually someone that likes to follow the rules of a set journal. This one is so creative and colorful and fun that I actually highly, highly recommend it if you want to check out a journal. It would also be a really fun gift to give for Christmas or the holiday season coming up, especially if you have someone in your life that you know likes tarot. That journal would be a very, very good standalone gift. It's such a beautiful journal as well that I'm actually kind of scared to write in it because I don't want to ruin it. Okay, but now moving on to the tarot deck specifically. So this is a classic 78 card tarot deck. The cardstock is very thick and nice, but the cards themselves are quite big. That's certainly something to keep in mind if you are particular about the size of your tarot deck, which I know many people are, myself included. This one is a little challenging to shuffle and to read with. It's more close to a standard oracle deck size rather than the classic tarot deck size. Always the great thing about having a bigger deck though is that you are able to see a lot more of the details in each of the cards, which I love. So if you can kind of get around the shuffling and you have the space for it, it's certainly a great option for some people. So the intention of this deck, according to the publisher and the deck creators, is that they wanted to take a centuries-old divination practice and make it a little bit more modern. This is very evident, of course, in the artwork and the design of the deck generally. The artwork in the deck is kind of mixed media collage style as well, which always tends to feel quite modern. And I have to say, I really love a lot of the symbolism and imagery that they've chosen for the cards. A lot of the cards actually include animals that maybe you wouldn't necessarily think of for that card, but they tend to make a lot of sense. I was quite pleasantly surprised when seeing how many animals were in this deck and how I felt like they really did make sense with the cards that they were chosen for. One of the claims of this deck is that it focuses on mental health, mindfulness, and personal growth. That in itself, I'm a little bit curious as to, how they did that in the deck, how they feel that that comes across any different than any divination tool. I mean, we can all agree that many divination tools can be used for mental health, mindfulness, and personal growth. So I'm just a little bit curious what in particular this deck would do that's different than others that really focuses on mental health. I would say that the journal really does focus on mental health, but the deck itself, I'm a little bit lost on how it really does that. When reading the guidebook as well, it doesn't feel like it necessarily talks a lot about mental health. Again, maybe in the sense that all tarot decks do in self-reflection, but not necessarily more than any other tarot deck. I wouldn't say that, if you're looking for a deck that focuses on mental health, that this would be one of them. Again, not that it doesn't, but I can think of other decks that are really trauma informed, or that really focus on mental health and healing a little bit more than this one does. But that's just me being nitpicky. Honestly, a job that I would love to do is just critique people's decks that they're bringing into life. And just let them know kind of some of the faults that they have or some of the places where it's that description maybe doesn't match the deck completely. Another interesting aspect of this deck is that every single card has a number associated with it. And they say that this is a numerology number associated with the card. I'm not sure how or why they selected these particular cards with this numerology, because numerology is a practice that already exists. So I'm not sure if someone who is very well versed in numerology would agree that all of these numbers match in the order that they do. But from a very basic standpoint, it is fun to have a number on the cards because you could use it to represent different things intuitively. So I like where it's going. I would love to have a little bit more insight on why it was chosen and if there is any backing to it. I looked in the guidebook and couldn't find anything further on why they selected each of the cards the way that they did. And one of my favorite things about the deck is actually the court cards. They have an apprentice as the page, champion for knight, oracle for queen, and elder for king. I think that is very fun, very cute, and I love the court cards. Let me know what you think about this one. Purchase or pass?